What's up, guys? What's good? So I was always just thinking, I feel like the Lord's put on my heart for me to share, right, my testimony. I remember I said, Lord, if you want me to share my testimony, let somebody say something about testimony. Daggone Blake, daggone Mars Attack came and said something about testimony the other day. So here we go. Because, a lot of people always wonder how this dude go from 6 O's LB, Lil Bruh, Boogie, to who he is today. Like, literally, he was one day popping the balls, and the next day he was walking with the Lord, right? So, here we go. There's one point in my life where I literally thought the Lord was trying to kill me. He want me to have nothing, right? I remember I was just sitting back one day, and something happened. I think my car got stolen. That was the final straw. Because I just put all that money. It was the Crown Vic on 22 with the white Gus two-tone paint with the Titan colors. Oh, that boy was nasty. It got stolen, lost a lot of money, couldn't pass certain tests for like school and stuff to be able to go to the next thing. And I was just like, and I started thinking about how I was sick as a child. I almost died a couple of times. I remember my brother screaming to help save me one time and him getting a cold rag put on my head. Love you, bro. Thanks for that. And stuff like that, right? And I was just really thinking, man, the Lord is really trying to kill me, want me to have nothing. But I'm still gonna make this money though. So I remember I got to the mindset was like, man, I'm gonna make all this money. I'm gonna hustle, but he gonna take it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spend it before he takes it. Good thinking, huh? Stupid. Wish I had that money now. But I remember I got a job at Frito Lay. Praise the Lord for Frito Lay. If y'all don't know, they used to hire kids. I don't know what they do now. From college, whatever, in the summer, you go work in the summer around Christmas, make just so much money. And when you get that young, you get on that overtime, that check coming, boy, you loving it. Back then, I was 12 to 14, probably like 17, $18 now. You can't imagine make that straight out of in college, right? Just some side money. And I was taking all the overtime. I was like, I'll sleep there if they'll let me. Because that time and a half and that double, oh, my gosh. So working there back then, I was bringing extra like, I was probably bringing like $500 to $600 working at Frito Lay a weekly, right? Just to check from them. But I was also flipping clothes that I think it was Miss Rhonda. I can't remember her name. I think her name was Miss Rhonda. I used to send me clothes or whatever. It was great, right? And she'll tell you I was working hard. She'll probably drop a comment. She said I was flipping. I was working hard. She loved me. I was bringing the extra 180 to $300 every other day, money wise, right? Just flipping clothes. I was going so hard that I was driving from Huntsville, Alabama, down our little country downs, making all this money, and I was bringing literally. I was probably bringing in with the Frito Lay money, $1,200 to $1,500 a week. I was bringing more money back then than I am now. That's kind of sad, right? But blowing that off because that mindset is like, best spend it for the Lord takes it, right? So remember, I was just acting a fool, right? And I was like, let me tell you how much money I was spending. I was spending so much money that I bought literally probably like 13 pairs of shoes, not counting boots and clothes, just 13 pair of tennis shoes in probably like 2 or 3 weeks. I know it was a month because I remember I would drive, after I got paid, I would drive straight to Huntsville, Alabama, go to the Foot Locker down there, see that dude, this one dude like, what's up, man? He knew I was there for one reason, to blow my whole check. I mean, I walked in one time and dude was like, yeah, we got, um, yeah, you pretty much got all these. I was looking. I was like, I already got these today. He pretty much. He's like, bro, what you expect? You done bought the whole Converse because it was Converse, right? I was buying the Converse because back then Converse had Air Force One looking shoes, but they looked better because the Converse had the purple, gold, and yellow, purple, gold, and white shoes that matched the Lakers jersey. Your boy was killing the Lakers jersey that my homeboy used to let me borrow. That was killing. So I went back down there. He was like, man, sorry, pretty much ain't nothing left to buy because I was buying hats, 2 hats every time, all type of shirts and jeans. Like I had a full wardrobe like a year wardrobe for like in like a month or something. It was something stupid. I was ignorant, right? And drove back mad. But I was like, well, this is my senior year. Well, one of my senior years in college because I was on the 6 year plan. No masters. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have the greatest senior year that everybody wished they had. So I remember I called my cousin T by and I was like, hey, cuz, I heard you trying to move down to Nashville. He's like, yeah, cuz, but I don't have nobody to stay with. I was like, cuz, I'm about to get Probably get apartment. He's like, hey man, get room for two. Done deal. So I was like, that's a bet. So I was like, if y'all didn't know Bob back then, he was what you would call a pharmaceutical salesman. And some of y'all was probably thinking like, what's wrong with the pharmaceutical salesman? Ask your kids about it. They'll tell you what it really is. And I was like, well, that's checked off. Got my cousin. He got the cars and the money and whatever else we need to act the fool. Then I was like, well, I can talk to anybody. That means I don't have a problem meeting the right people and meeting women. So that's a check. That's two checks. Then I got a clique of dudes that range from 5'5" or my height or shorter to 6'5", 6'6", light skin, brown skin, dark skin, other skin. If she don't like me, she gonna like him. If she don't like him, she gonna like me. And she don't like neither one of us, she gonna like my gay girl cousin. And her friends are probably gonna like one of us. So we good. So I was like, that's a bet. Everything's check, check, check. And I was like, yeah, man, we gonna act the fool. And I remember I was acting so stupid that time that literally I was on the wrong track so bad that my cousin was like, I was about to do something. I was like, hey, cuz, we finna do this. And cuz like, nah, man, I don't do that. That's wrong. Or I feel like that's wrong. And I was like, but you're a pharmaceutical salesman. And I was like, but I will. And still went and did the active food right. Now, I was talking to my cousin because we was all ignorant back then. Like, everybody was acting a fool. Like, right now, my cousin's a godly man, love his wife, love his grandkids, love his kids. Like, that man walking a good path, man. And yes, we was acting a fool, but listen here, that was before he met you. He loves you, and you're the only one he loves. Anybody try to come and holler at him now, you can just go away, because he adores his wife, buddy. Y'all can all kick rocks in his eyes. But I was like, yeah, cuz, we about to act the fool. He's like, bet. So I was like, yep. I went up to Nashville, got the apartment, got the furniture, got everything we need, the pictures. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, cuz, come today. We about to get it started this week. And then my cuz hit me up. He's like, hey, cuz, I'm not coming this week because something came up. I got to come next week. I said, that's a bet. So I'm just sitting on the couch. I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's good. I can still plan out for how I'm going to act the fool, how we got the food, get everything ready. Like, literally, y'all, the way I was planning, like I planned now for the Lord, people ask me questions, how we going to do how to set up. I was planning the same way, but for Satan. I was about to act the plum fool. Pretty much y'all been in jail. None of y'all would know me. Like, y'all never heard any of these videos. I've been locked up. Don't let me out. It been a done deal, my guy, right? So, I remember I was sitting down on the couch, right? Just chilling, relaxing. And I started thinking about when I was sick as a baby, having seizures. I started thinking about when my car got stolen. I started thinking when my car wreck in high school, when the car was totaled. I started thinking about South Carolina when the car ran off the road and came back up and we almost flipped. So thinking about, you know, money I lost and everything, right? And I was just sitting back like this. I'll never forget, my arms crossed and my foot on the table. And I was like, man, I was like, man, the Lord is really trying to kill me. He really don't want me to have nothing. And I remember sitting there and I said, I love you, Jesus. I truly do. And there's nothing you can do about it. Pretty much you can kill me all you want to try to hurt me, but I'm still going to love you. Which was real because I was weird, because I was bad as sin. Like, I acted a plum donkey, but for some reason I still love the Lord, paid my tithes, believed in paying tithes, and just serving him, right? Like, if the church needs something, I'm going to give it, right? It don't matter, right? But I said, I love you, Lord. I truly do. Or I love you, Jesus. I truly do. And there's nothing you can do about it. But I'm going to be me. I remember I told somebody at one time, he said, bro, you said to Jesus? I was like, yeah. And after I said it, I can never forget. This is why I changed. If you're ever wondering why I am the way I am now, it's because this is what happened. How I went from one day acting a fool to the next day walking the Lord, it's because this happened. Remember, I was sitting there, and after I said that, I said, but I'm going to be me. Time just stopped. It literally just stopped. And I don't know if it was mentally, spiritually, or physically. Remember, it was the middle of the day, dark. I mean, it was bright outside, and it just got real dark. And I was taken, and I was watching myself drive my car in South Carolina. I literally was watching myself drive my car in South Carolina, and I heard this voice on my shoulder. I couldn't see the person, but I could hear him clearly. It was the nicest, kindest, most caring voice I've ever heard in my life. It was just like saying, see, if I wouldn't allow your car to be taken, your Crown Vic, like I told you, it was riding on 22s. I was skating back then, right? I had a Crown Vic on 22 with the white guts and everything, two-tone paint. But he was like, if I would have allowed your car to be taken when you came back on the road, it would have flipped and it would have killed everybody in the car. And I was like, yeah, but now, if any of y'all know me, I always got to come back for something, right? Even for Jesus. So I was like, yeah, but I was going to sell the car anyway and get a BMW because my friends had a hookup on the BMW back home. The only legal hookup we probably had back then, right? And the voice never argued with me. It was just like, okay. Now, I never could see the person. I could just hear them talking about me. And they never argued. It was the most kindest, caring voice ever, right? And I was like, and he's like, okay. And took me to another place. And I was like, yeah, but. Another place, yeah, but. Like, I kept doing that. I always had to come back for it. Like, that's probably get cussed out now because I always have to come back. Some people call it a holy cussing, but it's just people cussing me out because, yeah, I'm a holy joke. But I remember I kept saying, yeah, but, and the person, the voice was just like, okay. Then the last place it took me, I was no longer watching myself. I was actually back in the car. And here's the thing, you never realize how God has kept you your whole life until you sit back and reflect on things that happen, right? So I remember he had me back into the car when I was driving and had that wreck in high school. And I remember I called my homeboy about it. Or I didn't call him, I messaged him because, you know, when all this technology, you can find people you haven't seen in years. And I was like, hey, man, I just want to thank God for allowing you, or thank you for allowing God to use you that day back then when we got in the wreck. He's like, yeah, bro. I tell my son about that all the time. He'll probably leave a comment about it if he ever watches and see this, right? And I remember we was driving the car. And back then, like, I don't know if y'all know about Tennessee people, we used to do this thing called cocking it, right? If you ever watched this, I'm riding spinners and he doing all that, we actually really did that stuff. Like, it was ignorant. I know y'all swerved down in Houston, but we was cocking acting a donkey, right? So I remember I was acting like that, had a full Explorer. I was cocking acting stupid, right? And I was going, and out of nowhere, it was like 50 to 100 yards away from a stop sign. And I was still acting a fool. And my homeboy was like, out of nowhere, he just screamed out and said, hey, y'all, let's play a safety game. Pause. Y'all probably wonder what a safety game is. There is no such thing as a safety game. Nobody has ever played a safety game. We had no idea what the safety game was. We were just like, okay, get all hype. Now, why would a whole bunch of high school kids, some freshmen, sophomores, juniors, everything, seniors in the car, why would be hyped over a safety game? But we said, okay, how you play? He said, okay, here's what you do. We sit up straight, okay, put a seatbelt on, check. All right, everybody look straight, straighten up, get comfortable, check. He said, okay, Daniel, straighten up. All right, cut the music down. All right, drive straight to the stop sign. He said, and then we got the stop sign. I said, hey, everybody ready? They said, yeah. I pulled off. Somebody runs the stop sign and totaled our car. And then God brought me back. And it was like he said, explain that. I used to say he said, prove that. But what he really was like saying was explain that. Because I didn't have a but for that. I had a but for everything except that. Like, this really happened to me in high school. I forgot about it until I was back in that car, remember that day. And I was sitting there at the house like, man, this whole time I thought God was trying to kill me. But he was trying to save me my whole life. I said, God changed me when I was about to act a fool. I said, ain't that a B? But I didn't say B. I said the actual word back there. And then I said, all right, Jesus, I'm yours. And that's it, man. And y'all wonder why I changed? That's why I changed. But here's a crazy part of the story that I didn't find out till later on in life. My mama told me, right? My mama told me that, yeah, after I told her that, she told me that that's crazy. But what's crazy is the dude was driving who hit me. She said, the crazy part is where the boy hit you. I was like, what you mean where he hit me? He's like, think about it now. You was driving Explorers. Explorers wasn't jacked up how cars are jacked up now, right? There was a regular Explorer. We country boys, so the other dude was driving like an 88 or 82 Silverado, jacked up with like 33-inch tires, I think. I know it was a 44, those too big. but he was jacked up. So his grill was pretty much on top of my hood. It would have been on top of my hood. But somehow when he hit me, even though we saw the lights coming at the window, somehow he hit me at the bottom of my wheel well. That's literally impossible. That means there had to be enough force to push the whole hood down where the grill hit the bottom of my tire. Now that's the crazy part of the story. That's dang near impossible. I have no idea. That's nothing but the Lord. That's even crazier than us playing the safety game. But like I said, guys, that's why I changed. And some of y'all probably like, oh, I wish I had that story. No, you don't. Did you miss the whole point of the story? I had to lose everything. And literally, God had to come to me face to face. I mean, had to come and talk to me, make sure I'm acting right. Just like Paul. None of y'all want to get kicked off your high horse and lose everything and have to and have to be blind like I was for years, losing all, months, whatever, losing all before you act right. And you don't want a story about God heal me from sickness unless you are sick, okay? Because who really wants to be sick, right? The only one you really want to have is I was persecuted for following Christ, and I stayed faithful. That's the only testimony you will have. You don't want mine. But that's it, guys. If y'all wonder why I changed, that's why I changed. But once again, hey, I got to thank my cousin, because that man right there, Tobias, was the only one who probably set me down. We talked, and that man taught me about forgiveness. You can't judge people, and we're all just human, right? And you got to let things go, because it'll kill you. And that pretty much, and also, that pretty much serves up like the Bible, because I found out later in life, forgiveness is the key about everything in life. And then when you grow up, you realize all that stuff I did back then is worthless. You really only realize that it's meaningless until you get older. You realize that it was only fun because you're with your boys. That's why people have more fun now than they did back then, because they realize all that mattered was hanging with the ones you love. Matter of fact, I don't remember the other people. All I remember was my guys that I was climbing with. All that other stuff is meaningless. Like Ecclesiastes, just chase and win. So serve the Lord, like I said, love your family, and enjoy the people who love you. And hey, stay faithful. And remember, forgiveness is the key. Thanks, Tobias. Love you, cuz. Hey, y'all have a blessed day. In Jesus' name, Jesus. Amen. Peace.